Welcome to yoga. Thanks for coming. Good to see you all. So if you've read the email, the inspiration or whatever for the practice today is a poem from T.S. Eliot that I love. It's not the whole poem, it's part of it. And it says, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." So I'm just, in the context of our asana practice, I would substitute the word arrive where we started and know ourselves for the first time. So just about listening, staying in your, listening to your body. Body is your first teacher. And out of the thinking mind. So that's going to be kind of our focus today. And at the end, maybe we'll learn some things about ourselves. So start where you'd like, seated, supine. And the very beginning is always to see yourself right here, right now, just as you came to practice today. Every time you get on your mat, things are different. So scan your body, begin to tune in to what your body's saying. Just physically scan around, notice any sensations, any parts that might need special attention. And also not the parts that feel really good. In other words, maybe warm, loose, just good. And also pay attention to any emotions that you're aware of. Emotions are a little harder to pinpoint, but that can be, a tension, a tightening in your gut or your chest or wherever you might hold emotions. It might be a so-called positive emotion, just a lightness and openness. And also notice your mind, if that monkey mind's there, or if you're pretty relaxed in your mind. Just take a few more seconds to see where you are. And then bring your awareness to your breath. So just take a few belly breaths. So relax your belly and just start to breathe deep. Just a nice full inhale, filling all the way up without over-efforting. And exhaling a full release. Just a couple just like that. Make sure your face and jaw are relaxed. Bring the air all the way in so your chest expands all the way up. And exhale, relax everything back to center. Maybe pull your belly in a little bit at the end. Now we're going to do a pranayama, which is count to 3 on your inhale, and then pause and count to 3, and then exhale to a count of 6. So you make your tempo up, you make your count up, but inhale 3, pause for 3, exhale 6. want to exhale through pursed lips, just kind of narrowing your throat as you exhale. That can help to lengthen that out. You don't have to. Okay, one more round. When you get to that 6th exhale, just release that pranayama and just come back to a slow, deep, even breath. And we've already begun our exploration in T.S. Eliot's words, and so we're going to continue. So remember to listen to your body, not your mind, and we're going to start standing up. So best way for you, come on up to standing. The front third of your mat. We're going to begin in mountain pose. So feet parallel. And just take a minute to rock front and back. From your toes to your heels, and then side, outer feet, inner feet. Just feel all the bottoms of your feet, and then lift and spread your toes. Set them down lightly so you're balanced on the 4 corners of your feet. Now press down, and notice when you press into the mat, activate your kneecaps, come up, your quadriceps engage, not gripping, but just gently pressing into the mat. Take a little tuck of your tailbone so your pelvic bones come up just a little. And then lengthen through your side waist, lift up, not even through the crown of your head yet, but just trying to separate your ribs from your pelvis. And bring your shoulders up to your ears and roll them back. Open your palms out, thumbs out, and then lengthen up through the crown of your head. So mountain pose, and let go of any effort that you don't need here. So you don't want to be gripping, you're just balanced all the way, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. And if you can feel comfortable with your eyes closed, close your eyes. Make sure your face and jaw, neck, relax, shoulders coming down from the ears. And just take a couple breaths here. Stable, but easy, like a mountain. Okay, then open your eyes, and we're going to do some sun breaths. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, palms down. Come back to center. Inhale up. You can take your gaze up toward your arms and down when your hands come back to heart space. A couple more just like that. Keep your fingers spread, arms active. One more. Okay, then we're gonna do some lateral stretching of the spine. So keep your left palm on your right thigh. Inhale, bring your left arm up, fingers spread, side bend toward the right. On exhale, then inhale, right arm comes up, left arm to left thigh, side bend to the left. So keep your arm, continue like this, keep your raised arm over the ear, so you're keeping like in a side plane. And press into the outer foot to get a little more stretch on the stretch side. And as you exhale, just see if you can stretch a little deeper. Okay, one more each side. And then we'll come back to mountain pose. And we're gonna open our shoulder joints a little bit with swim arms. So let's start going backwards. So right arm goes up and back, and then left arm, so like doing the backstroke. And again, if you want to bring a little more into it, your gaze can follow your fingers if that feels okay. So listen to your body. See how your shoulders are. And remember to modify. So you're always doing what feels good, never pain. Okay, then pause and we'll go the other way. So freestyle forward. Okay, and then pause. I'm going to do some half sun salutations with chair pose. So your feet are there, yep. Let's get any props that you need. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, swan dive. Bring your chest toward your thighs. Knees bend a little or a lot. And then on an inhale, bring your arms out and up. Come back onto your heels, up into chair pose. Up in front of you, yeah, chair pose. Then exhale all the way up and arms around here. A couple more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, so your weight's in your heels. Reach up. If those arms aren't good for you, you can have your arms in front, like this, any other way. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. And let's hold this one a couple breaths, sorry. So keep breathing here. Inhale, exhale. One more, inhale. And this time exhale all the way up and hold here. So if we're in a held pose, your mind might be telling you, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, or I have to do this, one way or the other. Anyway, let your breathing tell you if you're over-efforting or if it's time to come out. If you can keep this slow, deep, even breath, then do it. Stay there. Okay, so back to mountain pose. Just come into a mountain pose, take 3 slow, deep, even breaths. Notice the energy going around. We did some movement. Okay, now we're going to do a little balance. So just start by putting the weight into your toes and then back into your heels. So you'll just be moving a little bit. So just shift the weight into your toes and then back into your heels. And as you keep going, make it a little deeper. So maybe your heels will come up a little bit. Maybe your toes will come up a little bit. So you're kind of balancing on your heels. It's fine to be near a wall or a chair for this, if you want that. So just gradually go, so see if you can lift your heels up and balance on the balls of your feet and your toes. Okay, then pause, and we're going to coordinate that with arms. So as our arm, like sun breaths, so as you inhale up, when your arms come to shoulders, see if you can rise up onto your toes and then come down. So this is a practice, balance is a practice. Have a gaze point, something you're looking at that's not moving. Keep breathing and just smile, because this is playful. Have a playful attitude, no judging. So just a few more times. Just keep seeing about coming up onto the balls of your feet. If you want to try holding in a raised position, it's fine. Okay, one more. Okay, and then pause, kind of shake everything out. We're going to do tree pose, which is a familiar pose. So remember that it's not the shape so much as you're not trying to force your body into a certain shape. So make sure you do what feels right for you. So start in mountain. Let the weight come into your left foot. So come onto your right toes. Just start there. Right toes. Feel the whole bottom of the left foot on the mat. And get your gaze point, drishti. Take your right knee out to the side. And then you can stay right here. This is tree. Or you can bring your foot to your lower leg. Or you can bring it all the way up to your inner left thigh, just not on the knee. So take as much time as you need to find stability wherever you want to go. And it's important to breathe and to have a little bit of a activation of your core. And then if you want to add arms, like limbs or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. So just really play with this a little bit. It's not oh so serious. And balance is something that you can practice, it can improve with practice. Okay, so just take a couple more seconds. If you come out, take time to go back in. Okay, then come out with as much control as you can, and then just shake it out, move it around. Oh, so what? Who cares? That's what one of my yoga teachers used to say. It's kind of like this. Okay, then we'll try the other side. So you know the drill. So this time the weight goes into your right foot. Come on your left toes, and just pause there for a minute. Don't rush, no rushing. And then externally rotate the left leg and find where you want to place the foot, or keep it right on the floor. And then just have fun on this side for about half a minute. Keep going. You can always come out, take a rest, go back in. Okay, and come on out, shake everything out again. And then turn to face the long edge of your mat, feet wide apart. You might want to block. We're going to do a little wide leg forward bend here. So start with your hands, just feel the crease here, or your hip crease, and inhale. inhale, lengthen up, press down into both feet, and then begin to take your, bend forward with a strong flat back. Just come halfway down. Strong flat back. When you're halfway down, you might be able to step your feet a little wider apart. You might want to, or then bring your hands to the block or to the floor. And keep lengthening out through your spine and bring your chest toward your thighs. You can bend your knees too here. Just come into your version of a wide leg forward bend. Now turn your toes out a little bit. And then bend your right knee, walk your hands over toward your right foot. So nice stretch on the inside of the left leg. And then come back to center, straighten your right leg, bend your left knee over your left ankle, and walk your hands over to the left. If that feels good, your hands can still be on the blocks, whatever. So just move side to side, feeling a little stretch in your inner thigh, nice. Listening to your body, not what your mind might be telling you should be doing, or shouldn't be doing. Okay, then come back to center, parallel your feet again. Come up halfway with a strong flat back, bring your hands to your hips. Lengthen out on an inhale through the crown of your head. Press into your feet and slowly come up. Slowly, 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 all the way up. Nice. Take your right heel and bring it back toward the back corner of the mat and your left toes toward the short edge. And adjust your stance here. We're gonna do a vinyasa sequence with Warrior 2, reverse warrior, and bent angle, side angle. So starting with Warrior 2. So take your left knee over your left ankle. And square your shoulders toward the long edge of the mat. Inhale, bring your arms up shoulder height, straight out, look at your front and your back hand. Kind of level. Take your gaze over the middle finger of your left hand, Warrior 2. So the first time we go through the vinyasa, we'll do a couple breaths in each pose. So inhale here in Warrior 2, and then exhale, maybe sink down a little bit. Inhale again. Exhale. Then on the next inhale, turn your left palm over, bring your right palm to your right thigh, and bring the left arm up and over. Exhale, and take another inhale here. Lengthen the spine on the inhale, exhale, soften a little bit. Then inhale, arms come down, reach forward with your left arm, bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Right hand can go to your waist, behind your back, up over your head. So any right arm that feels good. Okay, so stay here, another breath. Inhale, lift up through your spine so you're not collapsing onto that leg. And then exhale, maybe you reach a little further. Okay, now come back up on an inhale, back to Warrior 2. And we're gonna go through that a couple more times just with one breath. So inhale in Warrior 2, and then exhale in Warrior 2. Inhale, go to reverse warrior, and then exhale in reverse. Then inhale, reach out with your left arm, bring your forearm to your leg, and right arm up. Okay, and one more time. Inhale back to Warrior 2. Exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. exhale. Inhale, reach out, forearm to your front leg, yep, arm up, beautiful. Look, you can look up at that right arm if you want. And then inhale back. Take your feet parallel again, arms to your waist, and step your feet together. And just kind of circle, take any kind of organic movement, anything that feels good to your body to get rid of some of that tension before we do the other side. So step your feet wide. This time the left heel pivots back toward the back corner of your mat. Right toes toward the front edge, okay? Bend your right knee so it comes over your right ankle. Okay, square your shoulders to the long edge. Inhale, arms up. Now look over the middle finger of your right hand. Warrior two, so we'll just take a couple breaths here. Inhale, lengthen up, exhale. You're always pressing into your feet. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Now we'll go to reverse warrior. So inhale, turn your right palm over, left palm down to the left thigh, and reach back. Beautiful. Exhale, stay here. One more breath here. Inhale, reach out like we did in the lateral bends before. Exhale, inhale, back. Reach out with your right hand, right forearm comes to right thigh. Left arm can go up, behind your back. Anything that feels good. Exhale, take one more breath here. And now inhale back to warrior two. Just gonna do one breath each here, then exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Back, so you're going back toward your back leg. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it, perfect. Okay, I don't think it probably matters. Okay, sorry. Then inhale, reach out, bring your right forearm, leg, reach over, or any arms you want. Very nice. We're gonna do that one more time, that sequence, starting back with warrior two. And then reverse warrior. And then reach out, side angle. This is called dancing warrior, this sequence. Okay, then square your feet up again. Bring them together. And just stand in mountain pose. Just feel the energy. That was kind of a lot of focusing and trying to figure out how to put everything together. I had a teacher that said, yoga is a practice, not a performance. So it's a good thing to remember. And it's your practice, so you don't have to look like the person next to you, or me, or anything else. Okay, now we're going to come down to all fours. So come to the front edge of your mat. And inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Bend your knees a lot. Bring your hands to the mat. Step back into downward facing dog. So hips up. You can have your knees bent a little or a lot. Lengthen out through your tailbone and let your head hang heavy so that your chest kind of comes toward your thighs by gravity. Pedal your feet maybe a few times. Push into one heel and then the other. And then on an inhale, come to your knees. coming into tabletop. So wrists are under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers, press into the fleshy pads at the base of your fingers. Make your hands like a little suction cup. That helps take some weight off the wrist. You can also have a blanket under your knees if that feels good. So we're going to start with just some gentle cat-cows. So inhale, let your chest come through your arms. Your arms are straight, elbows straight. Let your chest come down. Maybe your head come up a little bit. And then on an exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your low back all the way up. So your chin comes toward your chest. And just do a few more like that. Really slow, letting your breath initiate the movement. And also starting with the pelvis. So on your inhale, you tilt your pelvis and then all the way up to your upper spine. Extension. Exhale, push the mat away and tuck. Spinal flexion. A couple more. Now walk your hands forward about a hand length, so they're out, not under your shoulders anymore, they're out in front. And I don't know what this move is called, but it's like kind of an extended cat-cow. So start by coming into cat. So tuck your tailbone, round your spine, and then bring your shoulders over your wrists. Drop your hips as you inhale, and your back is in extension. Then exhale, tuck your tailbone, come back into a flexed spine, back towards child's pose, but you won't go all the way down. And then as you inhale, keep your spine rounded as you bring your shoulders over your wrists, and then inhale with an extended back. And modify it anyway. If that's not right, you can just keep going in regular cat-cow. You do not have to do it this way. Just keep going whichever way you're doing it. And finally, we'll meet back in a child's pose, so you can bring your hands back. And if it's more comfortable for you to do a wide leg child's pose with your knees out and feet together, out to the side of the mat, feet together, resting your head on something, just find a place where you can just rest. Let everything droop down, melt down into the mat. Okay, now come on back up to all fours. And I'm going to do a 3-part vinyasa. That's going to go like this. We're going to inhale, bring your left foot back. I think we did this recently. Left foot back, the ball of the foot on the floor. And then inhale the left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee toward your nose, so come into a kind of a half cat thing. Then inhale, flex your foot, reach it back. Exhale, bring your knee toward your elbow. Inhale, reach it back, point your toes, cross your left foot over your right, and turn to look at the left foot. Okay, so we're going to do it a couple more times on this side. So start with your left leg out, foot flexed, lengthen out, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen, flex the foot. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, point your toes, cross over, and turn to look. One more time, do it to your own breath, and modify any way. If you want to come out and come back into a child's pose for rest, that's great. When you finish that side, just come back to tabletop, and we'll just do the same thing on the other side. So this time, right leg goes back. Lengthen out through your heels, lift the leg parallel to the mat. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee out to the side toward the elbow. Inhale, lengthen, point, cross over, and look. Nice. So just do that a couple more times on this side. Okay, then when you're done, bring your hands one palm's length ahead again. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. We're going to lower down, keep this slowly, so you want to really firm up your core here. Lower down as slowly as you can, keeping your elbows right down next to your body, so your chest and chin come down first. And then slide out on your belly. You want to try a forearm plank?
Try to what?
Forearm plank. We haven't done this for a while. We'll just try it. Okay, so have your elbows under your shoulders. I like to clasp my hands together, or you can have your hands flat on the mat here. So this is like what's it called? It's called a forearm plank. Anyway, so tuck your toes, and you're going to press down into your forearms, however or your clasped hands, whatever. And then on an inhale, really strengthen your core, belly, lift up, so you're like a flat plank. And take one breath, and then come down. Okay. Oh, that's great. That was good, right?
I think that's like a push-up.
Okay. All right, let's try it one more time. You don't have to do it. Another thing I heard one time is you can just have the intention to lift up. So you gather that core together and just make a beginning move like you're going to lift up. Or you might just come up a little teeny bit, but that's something. So, all right, so everybody can do exactly what they want, but you can come back up into forearm plank, and you can hold and take some breaths there, or you can take one breath, whatever you want. This is a really good thing to do in your own home. All right, then come down, rest your forehead on your stacked hands. And that was kind of, that's hard. It's a challenge. So just let everything go. Notice what your mind is saying to you, how you're talking to yourself after that. Whether you're judging or saying, wow, I did great, or whatever. Just listen to your body. So, approach every pose as if it's the first time you ever did it and you have no idea how it's gonna feel or anything. And then listen to your body and you'll know when to stop or change it. Okay, now forehead to the mat. And bring your arms down by your sides with the palms facing in. And we're gonna do a half lotus, so just starting with the legs. So press your pelvis into the mat, take a little tuck in your tailbone. So you're pressing your abdomen into the mat. And then on an inhale, with your toes pointed, lengthen up, out and out through your left leg, just the left leg. Exhale, let it come down. So a couple more times, just the left leg. Inhale, point, reach out. Exhale, release. One more time. Okay, now we'll do that with the right leg. So point your toes, inhale, lift, lengthen, keep your pelvis pressed into the mat. So lift and lower 2 more times. Okay, now we're gonna practice a full lotus. So that's both legs are gonna lift and lengthen on the inhale. And if you want, both arms can lift and reach back with your feet and your fingers and hands and lift your head and shoulders off the mat. And then exhale, come down. Really important to keep pressing into the mat, tucking your tailbone, protects your low back, and lengthen. Don't think about coming up so high or high at all, just think about getting longer out the crown of your head, feet, fingers back. Okay, one more time. You can hold and take a couple breaths if that feels good. And then come down, rest on your right cheek. Just sink down, feel the energy moving around there. Resting on your right cheek. If that feels good, if it doesn't, you can stack your hands and do that. Now on an inhale, gently and carefully move over so you're resting on your left cheek. Take a few breaths here. Okay, then come on back up onto your forearms. I'm not going to do a plank this time. We're just going to press, open your fingers, press the hands into the mat, press the tops of your feet into the mat, and then drag your elbows back. They're not going to move, but you're just going to drag them back and bring your chest through your arms, and maybe look up a little bit, not too much. So this is Sphinx pose. Now bring your awareness to your shoulder blades, and bring your shoulder blades together on the back. So as if you wanted to, that opens up your chest a little more. And just take a couple breaths here. Keep energetically moving your elbows back. They're not going to move. Just provide some traction. And take your chin to your chest. Take a few breaths like that. Okay, then come back up to all fours. Take your legs out to the side and come to sit on your seat. swing your legs around. We're going to come around to our backs. So start by having your feet, knees bent, feet out in front. Hold on to your knees and just bring your chest towards your thighs. Extend your back and then roll back. So just kind of a cat-cow in a different position here. Pushing away from your knees and drawing toward your knees. And then if you want to try, I don't know why I'm doing so many core things today, but I am. So if you want to try a little boat pose, you can put your hands behind you and just maybe lift one leg at a time. You can put your hands on around your knees and come back onto your sit bones and lift your knees. So you can keep your feet on the floor totally. There's lots of things to do here. Strong core. Nice. Okay, then put your feet back down and just roll back down onto your back. Might want to have a block near you here. Maybe some options with bridge pose. So you're on your back, knees bent, feet hip width apart, and arms down at your side, palms facing down, spread your fingers. We're going to start with some moving bridge, and then there'll be an option to hold. So press into your feet, tuck your tailbone, press into the mat with your hands, and inhale, lift your hips. Keep pressing into your feet. If you want to take your arms overhead, that's an option. And as you exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time. Bring your back to the mat and your arms, if they're lifted, back down to your sides. So move slowly. It can help here to put a block between your thighs and press gently into it. That helps keep your knees from splaying apart. So just a few times, moving bridge. And don't worry about getting up so high. Just think about lifting your hips, tucking your tailbone to protect your low back. And if you would like to have a still bridge, you can do that. I like to clasp my hands under my back. It just helps to open the chest. If you want to hold your bridge, you can do that. Keep moving. Hold. Or just stay on the mat with your knees bent. Okay, so wherever you are, come on back down. Take the block, if you have one. If you don't, I can bring one. Does everyone have a block? And lay it on so the biggest side, the flat side, is right under your the back of your pelvis, the sacrum there, not under your back, but so you're lifted up on that flat side, and you can stay here. This is supported bridge, or you can lift your legs up, both legs up. Make sure the block is comfortable. And this is half shoulder stand, supported. Nice thing to do here is to circle your ankles, so bring some movement into your feet. Flex and point. You can bring your legs wide apart, maybe feet together, anything you want. Just an inversion. So inversion reverses your blood flow, brings nice, fresh, oxygenated blood to your head. your brain. Okay, now bring your feet back down to the mat. Press into your feet, lift your hips just enough to take the block away. Bring the block out to the side. And we'll finish up with a twist. So there's lots of ways to do a spinal twist. You can have like a windshield wipe where your knees are bent and both legs go to one side and you just hold there. You can straighten one leg. I'm straightening my right leg and bringing my left knee across my right leg. Arms out shoulder height. So find a spinal twist that feels good, that you can stay in for a minute. I'll time you. And your gaze can go anyway, either over either shoulder or just stay straight up ahead. So inhale, make sure your neck and jaw and everything is relaxed as much as it can be. So put a support under anything that's just hanging. And inhale into the sensation of stretch. It's like you're sending your breath right into the whole body and especially that place. And then exhale, see where you can find softening. Just let go. This is a really good place to listen to your body. Just feel, see if you can feel that release somewhere, anywhere. A few more slow, deep, even breaths, focusing on the exhale, release on the exhale. Okay, now come out of that twist. Just bring yourself back to center, maybe tap your sacrum, push into your feet, tap the back of your sacrum a few times on the mat, and then take a twist on the other side. So it doesn't have to be the same twist. Anything where your shoulders are on the mat or as close as you can get them and your lower body is going the other way. If your mind is wandering, come back to your breath. Send it to the place of sensation and exhale, release. The twists are good. The lymphatic system does not have a pump like our circulatory system, and so this helps to move the lymph through our bodies and get rid of some things we no longer need. Okay, so when you feel like this side is balanced with the other, give yourself any Last movement, pose, anything before we come into Shavasana. I will come around. Eye bags, belly bags. Vicki, would you like an eye bag? Or you're good? You want a belly up there? Belly up, thank you. Terry, are you good? You good, like that, okay. Mary, anything? Okay. All right. So, we've done our passionate self-inquiry. Now is the surrender. That was the definition of yoga and the tradition that I trained in. Yoga is passionate self-inquiry and surrender. So in Shavasana, you're just letting go of everything, aware of everything, attaching to nothing. This gives your body a chance to integrate all the things we did during practice and to just be. You got everything you need. You are everything you need to be. Just relax and be with it. So gently bring your awareness back to this space. And your breath, begin to deepen your breath and wake your body up with small movements. Maybe your fingers, your toes, rock your head back and forth. And then bring yourself over onto your side. So knees, bend your knees and come into a side child's pose, resting your head and your arms. Just coming back to where we were at the beginning. Just noticing where you are at the end of practice. Your body and your mind, your emotions. So, where you are after your exploration and seeing yourself with new eyes. And then use your arms to come on up to a comfortable seat. Just keep your eyes closed, but sit with a tall, straight spine, open heart, open chest. And bring your hands, palms together, thumbs at your heart space. Bow to your efforts today to get to know yourself a little better with compassion, non-judgment. And I thank you for coming to practice, letting me guide you and share the practice with you. And the light in me bows to and honors the very same light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.